Today, we're going to cut through all of that noise you see online and really dig into what it takes to build wealth. And I'm not talking about those get-rich-quick schemes. No, this is about a real, fundamental shift in your mindset and your actions. We've broken it down into a super clear 4-part framework. So, let's start with a big question. Why do most of these get-rich guides just fail? You've seen them, right? The online gurus pushing their one single foolproof method, usually with a pretty pricey course attached. Well, here's the thing. The big problem is that your life, your situation is completely unique. What worked for some guy on the internet isn't necessarily going to work for you. It's just not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. And that's where this quote really hits home. Real, lasting financial change? It's not about just copying someone else's blueprint. Nope. It's about building your own, from the ground up. So let's dive into the principles you'll need to do exactly that. Okay, so our first major section is all about what we're calling mastering your inner game. Look, before you can even think about changing your bank account, you have to change what's going on up here, in your mind. Success, real success, it always starts from the inside out. All right, so the very first step, you've got to set clear, specific, and actionable goals. You know, just saying, I want to get rich, that's a nice thought, but it's not really a goal, is it? It's more like a wish. The real key is to make it actionable. So instead of that vague idea, try something super specific, like, I'm going to spend 2 hours every single day learning a new skill that can actually make me money. See the difference there? One's just a dream, the other, that's a plan. And this brings up a really deep point about your purpose. Just wanting money for money's sake is usually not a strong enough motivator to get you through the tough times. Without a deeper why, you're just going to burn out or fall into traps. You really have to stop and ask yourself, what's the real purpose behind the wealth I want to build? What am I actually trying to achieve? Think about it. Society is constantly selling us this one picture of success, right? It's the big corporate job, the shiny new car, the endless parties. But what we're talking about here is a totally different definition. A definition that's all about what actually matters. Things like time freedom, your health, and having real quality time with your family. At the end of the day, true wealth, it's freedom. And you know what all of this really boils down to? It's self-worth. It's a tough pill to swallow, but a lot of people stay in jobs they hate, or even in toxic relationships, because deep down, on some level, they believe that's all they deserve. If you want to break free and build something amazing for yourself, you have to start by believing, truly believing, that you are worthy of it. Okay, so once you've started working on that inner game, it's time to move to our second big principle, building your action plan. This is where we go from mindset to actual movement. It's time to turn those thoughts into real-world action. The absolute foundation of your action plan, it's learning what's called a high-value skill. Now, this isn't just a fun hobby. We're talking about a specific skill that the market actually needs and, more importantly, is willing to pay good money for. This is the kind of thing you can build an entire business or a new career around. So, what does that actually look like today? Well, here are a few examples. Things like content creation, video editing, online sales. These are skills that are in massive demand right now. But here's the key. You gotta pick one that you're genuinely interested in. Because trust me, you're gonna be spending a lot of time getting good at it. And the process for learning it, it's actually pretty simple. But, and this is a big but, it's not easy. It breaks down into 3 steps. 1, choose that skill you're interested in. 2, dedicate real, focused time to learn it. I mean, 0 distractions, phone off, notification silenced. And 3, you have to be ready to make daily sacrifices. Yeah, that might mean a lot less Netflix or less mindless scrolling on your phone, but that's what it takes to make real, tangible progress. Because ultimately, it all comes down to this single idea. Your future isn't defined by some single, big, life-changing decision. It's defined by the thousands of tiny little habits you do every single day. If you can prioritize the tasks that actually align with your goals, you will, without a doubt, move closer to them. All right, on to our third big principle. And this one can be tough, but it is absolutely critical.
We're talking about curating your environment. And that means both in the real world and online. Here's a piece of advice you hear a lot, but it's true. You have to surround yourself with people who lift you up and inspire you. Because when you start making big changes in your life, believe me, not everyone is going to be cheering for you. You have to be prepared to distance yourself from that negativity, to protect your own vision and your own dreams. And this right here, this is such a powerful way to look at it. People will tell you, oh, starting your own business is hard. And yeah, they're right, it is. But you know what's also hard? Working a 9-to-5 job you can't stand for the next 40 years. Getting a college degree is hard, but being stuck without any valuable skills, that's also hard.
And it all leads to this simple, powerful idea. Choose your heart. Life is going to be difficult no matter which path you choose. So the real question isn't, how do I avoid the hard stuff? The question is, which hard am I willing to choose? So choose the hard that actually leads you where you want to go.
And this idea of curating your environment absolutely applies to your digital world too. Think about it. Your social media feed is literally programming your brain every single day. So you have to take control of it. Unfollow all the noise, the drama, the garbage content that adds zero value to your life, and then intentionally follow creators who educate you, who inspire you. You can literally manipulate the algorithm to turn it into your own personal growth engine.
Okay, that brings us to our fourth and final principle. So far, we've talked about your mindset, your action plan, and your environment. Now let's talk about how to make all of this last, how to make it sustainable. And that means playing the long game. And this is something you just have to burn into your brain. You are not going to see results overnight. It's just not how it works. This journey is filled with a lot of boring, repetitive, unglamorous tasks. But those small, consistent steps, when you take them every single day, they add up. They eventually lead to massive achievements. So please, don't ever discount slow progress.
Let's be real for a second. You're going to fail. Probably multiple times. It's just part of the process. It's inevitable. The whole key is to reframe what failure means. It's not the end of the road. It's just feedback. It's not a failure, it's a lesson that tells you what to do next.
And that leads us to a really profound final point. A lot of us get stuck thinking we need more before we can start. You know, if I only had more money or more connections or more time. But the truth is, you have every single tool you need to succeed. You have everything you need to start right now, this very second.
So what does that actually mean? Well, think about it. Are you breathing right now? You have the ability to learn something new. You have a roof over your head. You have the gift of time. These aren't just small, fluffy things. They are the absolute fundamental building blocks of all success. Being grateful for what you already have, that's the fuel you use to go out and create everything you want.
So we'll end on this thought. The principles we talked about, they're clear. The path you'll take, that's deeply personal to you. And the tools? You already have them. They're right in front of you. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?